Alright, so we're testing this, I guess, right? Essentially, we're testing the abilities of these microphones and myself in front of all this to really get this shit working out and throw this into the spotlight. So ultimately, I'm a loud motherfucker, and that does not work very well for the audio on this camera here, but I think it'll actually work a little bit better, strangely enough, for this microphone, which is right in front of me right now. Because it just so happens that I'm a loud motherfucker, and I was a little worried a moment ago that that would be maybe a little too quiet. But no, 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 no. When I'm talking, my voice jumps up and down and around and all over the place, and it actually looks like the levels on this one right here are starting to indicate to me that it don't matter. It probably doesn't even matter how close I am to this microphone. I could probably go back here and go, "Hey, who are you fighting for?" And you could say, "Myself, bitches!" Myself! I'm telling you right now that I'm fighting for myself and nobody else! Which would actually be a very horrible thing to fight for. The reason being, there's a lot of people in this world. And unless you want to be alone, you probably want to get along. And how do you get along? But it is very simple, my friends, how you get along. How you get along. It's not necessarily to go along, but it's to fight for the best interests of the whole. Just not quite the dulling pencil of the media industries. Because that's more or less like, find the least offensive thing for all. It's much different than the thing that's best for all. Right. Right. This is like what people think they don't want to hear. People exclude versus what everyone needs is included. You know, there's a difference between it's the difference between being inclusive and exclusive. This is what I'm ultimately talking about here. I think it'd be ultimately better for a media organization, not an organization. An organization, yes, as well, but certainly a show at the very least, you know, a production, to focus on including something for everyone rather than excluding things that a certain group finds offensive. Right. I think ultimately they might. No. Quite honestly, I think that's actually something that they're bad at, is including something for everyone. Because ultimately, what they end up including for everyone is something that, at the same time, excludes the more offensive things of each and every different. So, like, say there's the free speech community. The free speech community might be like uber super excited, or at least certain segments of the free speech community might be uber super excited about like swears, you know, swear words. I love them. They're fantastic. They might not be the most articulate. They might not be the most eloquent. They might not be the most nuanced. I mean, they're not the most fine and articulate. Yeah, that's really the word I'm looking for. They might not be the most well-crafted words, the most focused and poignant and pointed, you know. But they happen to be, words that are blunt, that are colloquial, that are loud, that are emotionally powerful and evoking. They're good words. They're good words, as I've said before in another video that you might be able to find if you check out my channel a little bit more. So really, when it comes down to this media thing, that are they gonna throw in a shit ton of swears? Well, not really, because they don't want to offend a certain degree of the crowd. So, you know, maybe if they're HBO or something, they'll throw in a few penises here and there or something. A few butts. Actually, I don't know if they throw in penises. No, they do, right? Hard to say. They throw in some private parts that otherwise people might be like, "Oh my god! A human body! Oh my god, I'm so scared. I'm so scared. These are reproductive organs. You can make a baby with that. Holy shit, a baby! Isn't that the most terrifying thing in the world? I mean, sex. People don't even call it intercourse. They don't call it coitus. They call it sex, and it's so scary. Even though we have condoms, we have other contraceptives now, and even before we had contraceptives, there was always anal sex before that. That wasn't gonna make a baby. You know, it's like when you didn't want one, you know? Like, or oral sex. Good luck making a baby with oral sex, like seriously. Oh no, my religious traditions have told me. They have told me to be scared of any reproductive sex that happens outside of marriage or happens inside marriage, but includes other people seeing it that aren't part of the marriage. It's like, wait a second. Here's my question to religious people. Truly. Is pornography acceptable if it is made by a married couple solely for themselves? Not to be distributed in the public, not to be distributed in services. Is it acceptable to all you religious folks out there? You know, it's like if you and your wife decided one day that you were going to make a baby, no contraceptives whatsoever, and you wanted to record it so that you could remember, this is how we made Timmy. to experience that pleasure over and over and over again of, oh my god, this act that we both loved and enjoyed and had pleasure from, that created our child, our baby girl. No, Timmy can't be a girl, right? Timmy can be a girl. I don't know if no, not for the religious folks. Some religious folks maybe are a little bit more. I'm talking more to the hardcore fundamentalist Puritan crowd who, you know, all those more, you know, all the people that are more like, oh, let's oppress other people's speech. Let's oppress other people's expression. Let's oppress other people's, you know, it's like, all for the name of our religious traditions and religious morals. Those people. This is what I'm talking about. We want to control society because God says sins exist. You know? These are the people I'm talking to right now. Not the open-minded Christians. You guys are out there, you know, Unitarian Universalists and whatnot. You're not the people I qualm with. You're not the people I'm trying to ask these questions to right now. Where do your moral lines get drawn? Like, what exactly is so wrong about certain forms of sex? Because very clearly, I've heard so many times before, it's like, this and that and the other thing. You know, it's like, and it always comes down to like, oh, well, sex between a married couple and everything else is a sin. It's like, okay, well, what if the porn was solely for and between a married couple? Do you have a Bible verse that's against that? Is there something I'm missing here? Please tell me, because I don't think there's shit. I don't think there's shit. I don't even think the damn shit's in your Bible. I think you're making it up because you're uncomfortable with it. And you're just using your Bible as an excuse. You're using your God as an excuse. And of course, if you come around and you tell me, oh, no, you know, honestly, my only issue here is that this is, using contraceptives, just killing a baby, or something ridiculous like that. Or my only issue is that when this is out of marriage, and they're not making children, you know, it's like, that's my only issue. You know, it was like, if that's your only issue, and then you say like, yes, Yes, if it's between the married couple and they make their own porno for themselves, that's perfectly fine as long as they don't put it out on the internet for a bunch of other people to see. If they put it on a private post between each other that they can access in the cloud or whatever at any point in time, as long as that doesn't get hacked and out to the public, and ultimately that would be the hacker to shame, then I'm perfectly fine with it. If that's your stance, then hey, you're consistent. Good for you. Good for you. But I'm willing to bet that there's a lot of you out there that are not like that, that don't believe that, and that are full of shit. And you're using your God. Which I'm sure is a sin, as an excuse for your own personal discomforts and your own desire to control those around you, to make a world that is solely comfortable for you and maybe your crowd. Anyways, these are the kinds of things that I think media taboo. The media is just like, let's stay away from going too far into that because we don't want to offend the religious crowd. It's like, again, HBO, an example of something that might go like a little, push the boundaries on that a little, but ultimately, it's just, it's not pushing the boundaries that much. As if it was, it would go straight to like porn. It would become porn, and ultimately the thing that's stopping that is like FCC guidelines and stuff like that, or whatever. It was like the FCC controls broadcast media and tells you what can and cannot, and what is appropriate, and what is obscene, and what is offensive, and what is... It's like all these subjective words that they're like, oh yeah, we can regulate this, right? It's like, yep. Well, that one's art. No, and this one, that's profanity, okay? This one's art, that one's profanity. This is art, that's profanity, okay? I'm gonna dictate and tell you what is art, what's profanity, what's anything in between. No. This is a political statement, quite frankly, right here. That guy swaying swears are good words. No. That's not politics. That's just vulgar. They're like, wait. How are you drawing these lines? Where are they coming from? Because they're not coming from my morals. Lord knows. They're not coming from me. This is completely subjective based on like it's not one or two assholes, but basically one or two assholes, let's just say. Anyways, so, they don't want to offend. They might not want to, to those people who say, oh, it's liberal media, they might not want to go, full-blown, oh, let's give, Christians what they want all the time as well. They're not going to go, oh, let's do, a fundamentalist show. We'll call it God's World. And we'll have a bunch of people on talking about creationism. And how the dinosaurs aren't real. Evolution, we'll have them rip on Charles Darwin all day long. No. The reason why they don't do that is because that would be offensive to the scientific community. Now, I don't know how many offended... No. Let me scratch that. There are offended scientists out there. There are offended scientists out there. Anyone who's... the science itself doesn't get offended at anything because... it's purely objective. That's the science doesn't get offended, The science doesn't get blinded by its emotions. No. People do. Anyways. So this is my saying. I think it'd be great for TV to give something to everyone. So, one happy-go-lucky fundamentalist character going off and doing all the creationist bullshit that he wants to do. Whatever the hell. I don't care. Not my important thing. But then, some people just go and swear happy. Then other people just, completely naked fucking each other. Just complete, porno. But, granted, I'm talking porn mixed with regular productions, you know? What we do now is basically like, oh, so we have one separate thing for the sex, and that's just sex. And then we have one other thing over here that's, absolutely sexless, storyline, you know? And in some ways it didn't used to be that way. I know there was some old school porn that was like, oh, let's produce this. But, like, I mean, a lot of that was like bad story. Like, oh, the pizza guy showed up. And he has a dick for me. It's like, what? What is this? You didn't get any real writers here? Come on. Get some writers, you know, like someone who doesn't just think with their dick, but can think with their dick. Come on! It's like, I don't know. I'm not an expert on that either, because, you know, I don't know. I'm not terribly attracted to, like, 70s and 80s hairstyles and stuff like that. It's like, and dress and wear and stuff like that. So it's like, you know, maybe there's some beautiful storylines out there that I've missed, but I don't have many high hopes, because if there were, those would probably be timeless, you know? Those would probably be timeless, friends. They would probably be shouted from the hilltops. But, like, again, this is the kind of stuff you won't find in the, like, I don't know, crappy media thing where it's like, oh, let's give something to everyone. No, they don't give something to everyone. They give everyone a dull, boring version of what they want. It's like, oh, well, you want something sexual? Well, here, let's give you a kiss. A kiss scene. Or like, well, we can't actually show genuine sex in this, so, we'll show, like, this guy's, like, side, you know, near his, not his full ass, but, like, we'll give you a little hip and a little cheek, and then we'll give you a little bit of her hip and a little bit of her cheek, or a little bit of his chip on his cheek, or a little bit of both these ladies, you know, here, we'll give you, you know, maybe we'll give a little tip slip real quick, or, you know, it's like, you know, like, maybe if we're HBO, we'll get a little bit more ambitious than that, you know, it's like, or one of the other channels that's trying to push things, we'll get a little bit more ambitious than that, but we're not gonna really give these sex cravers what they want. No, because we give these sex cravers if we give these sex cravers what they want, those Christians over there will be super offended, and then we'll lose that section of the audience, and we'll lose our ratings, and we'll lose our money. So bottom line, it'll affect our bottom line, oh no, risks, we don't want to get too edgy here. You know. The same thing goes with, like, swears or free speech stuff or giving any one political side in a show. Notice how many shows go into politics, and they don't go into politics very well. When a show goes into politics, they're essentially just like, oh, well, let's just espouse the side that everyone will agree on. You know, it's like, you know, like when you get a show that's talking about politics, you know, I'm not talking about, like, comedy, because those guys push sometimes, depending on the comedian. You know, when we're talking about a show that goes into politics, it'll just be like, oh, well, this person believes that, and that person believes this, but, you know, let's find a way that we can all get along. It's like, you know, Jimmy might believe the MAGA thing, but Bobby believes this is the Green New Deal, but, you know, at the end of the day, we're all human beings. Let's all get along on this good old sitcom-friendly show, and then we'll have a nice little track going behind. It's like a nice little studio audience going, "Aww, isn't that adorable?" It's like, meanwhile, like, half the people are home, what the fuck am I watching? And then the other half are just like, oh, isn't that adorable? See, everyone agrees. And then the other half of the people are like, no, everyone doesn't agree. Are you insane? Just because they picked out the right studio audience to enjoy this does not mean that the majority of people want this, or enjoy this, or like this. My God! This is a bubble! This is a bubble! This is an echo chamber, you fools! Don't you know what this is? Get away from it! Run! Run to the mountains! Flee for your lives! And if this is your echo chamber, please step out of it for one goddamn second and see the rest of the world! We don't like this! We don't want this! We don't want the fucking evil Big Bang Theory bending over for corporations! No! You know? Star Trek nerds shoving their collectibles in their closets? What the fuck? How is that getting along? I mean, my God. Compromising oneself for their marriage? Well, I mean, maybe it's not, but if you have officially become so enveloped in your significant other that you no longer enjoy the things that you used to enjoy as your own individual thing, or as a camaraderie between you and your brothers, or you and your sisters, oh my God, that's a serious, that's like, I think that's an unhealthy relationship issue in my mind. I mean, sorry, if you genuinely feel unattached to those things at that point in time, like that part of your life has good, like you've turned a chapter in your life, then yeah, fine, sure, maybe that's a healthy thing, provided that you also have some other normal, outlets to yourself. Okay, fine. There are also people that like to just like, okay, now that I'm with my significant other, I do everything with them. I have no time, no individual time any longer. I am no longer an individual. I am a couple, and that is it. If that's you, have at it. Have at it. Have at it. I think that's really dangerous and unhealthy, and if that relationship ever goes downhill, you are going to be crippled! 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 But have at it. Have at it. It's like these ideas that are espoused in these shows are dangerous. It's like, you don't even, it's like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know, like, I'm trying to think of another example, like, here's a good one. Well, no, it's not a good one, because, I don't know, say your significant other smells, and your significant other is, the breadwinner, we'll call it the breadwinner and a woman in this modern age in the relationship, and for some reason she smells all the time, but she works at home, so she doesn't need to deal with other people other than you. She wants you to get along with your smells. With the smells. But she doesn't want you to shower because, quite frankly, she wants to smell you too. So now you've got two stinky ass fucking people. And granted, I actually can see both sides of this issue, because this hippie free smells thing. Oh, well, that's nice too. But okay, if you don't shower, that's unnatural in its own right. If you never shower, like 10 years have went by and I have not dipped in a lake, I have not jumped in a pond, I have not showered, I have not swam in a pool, I have not gone in a bathtub, and I have certainly not gone into a sauna. Granted, that's not as cleaning. It cleans the pores a little bit, right? I've not gone into a sauna or a hot tub. And I just think of stale 3-year-old sweat. I'm sure there's some skin issues that go on with that. It's just so the smells, fresh smells are nice in my mind. Old stale smells, no, there's some hygiene issues going on there. Back away. Go take a shower. Or you don't need to use the soap. Just rinse with a lot of water. Make sure you scrub out all that old nasty old stuff. Maybe use some soap if the smells remain really thickly. I don't know. Um, use some natural soap. I don't know. Rub some spices on you. I don't know what you do. Whatever you think is good. Whatever you use to clean or to disinfectants, immunizations. No, I mean antibacterial stuff like that. Whatever you're gonna work with. Antifungal. Just do something. Just do something. You're a no shampoo person. Go with it. Just work with it. Just make sure that your hair is not like growing fungus out the sides. Make sure that you won't go when you go to your pillow at the night that like you don't got some like black fungus sprouting out there because your long ass hair is like growing a whole forest inside of it. So I mean, I don't know. There are ways that many of these things can go wrong, and there are ways that all of these TV shows go wrong. And it's like, oh, let's just do the safe position, a little dull bit of something for everyone, the people who, so that everyone is dissatisfied, and then we'll tell you after the show's over. That you don't really know what you want. That quite frankly, you want this dull shit that we throw out all the time because look at all the good ratings we've got from it. You know why I got good ratings? Because you got everyone a mild bit satisfied. Rather than getting one person or like 10 people or a niche audience really happy with the show, It was like you did not create like a fan base. You did not create a fan following. You created a show that would get you the most revenue, but would have everyone be like mildly dissatisfied and mildly dissatisfied, Mildly satisfied here, mildly dissatisfied there. But we got everyone, man. We got everyone. We rounded them all up and we got them all in a herd. And we successfully created a show that would get us the most money out of it. And hey, there's criticisms of people that say this is the most awesome show in the world because they just happen to fall directly along the center of everyone somehow. It's like we'll listen to them and we'll prop them up. Maybe we'll give them careers because, they agree with us. They're so dead center of every single person in the world. They don't really have a personality. But that's what we're going for here, A personality that's too out there, a personality that's too unique, that's too bold, that's too, that becomes too fringe. A personality that actually stands out, oh my goodness, no, that's gonna offend someone. Yes, someone's existence can offend someone, and we're not gonna put those people on air. We don't want to disenfranchise them or infringe their expression. We just don't want to, promote them or give them a platform. See, that way we're not oppressing them. We're not oppressing them at that point in time. All we're doing is ensuring that they don't find great success in the world because that would be offensive to certain people somewhere.